Angels today, brought to you by Cadillac of Laguna Niguel. And we talked about the top three in the order, 6 hits yesterday. Angels would love to see some more of that this afternoon with Neto, Trout, and Shawnuel there. Jorge Soler will be in right field with Joe Adell then going to left. Lowe will be in center with Trout DHing, followed by Peraza, Guzman, and Logan O'Hoppe doing the catching as we have all eyes on 27, Mike Trout. And Taj Bradley's going to have to deal with him second. He's coming off some really good outings.
Yeah, he's been throwing the ball exceptionally well. His fastball has been firm. It touches even up to 99 miles an hour. His slider slash cutter has been really good. My go-tos to get some runs early against him and win this ball game and win this series. My go-tos are power his curveball. That's elevated. He's given up 4 home runs on his curveball, 568 slugging. Quick hands on his fastball, 6 home runs allowed, 424 batting average. Is really his go-to wipeout pitch is his slider, although it's been categorized as a cutter. It's a slider at 40 punches. And his defense behind him today, he's been around the strike zone. Kryler over at shortstop so far has been pretty solid, moving all around the field for the Twins. 1 defensive run saved so far this season. Has been involved in 10 double plays turned. You got Clemens over there with him and Lee Lewis in the infield. Jeffers behind the plate. I think you got to try do this combination with Bradley and Jeffers as far as trying to steal some bases. They're susceptible to 5 stolen bases, none caught against Bradley so far this season. But this defense for the Twins, it's been solid. Got to make sure you put a lot of pressure on the warm afternoon here today.
We've seen a solid change of approach for Zach Neto lately, and he's had the numbers to back that up as he gets set to bat against Taj Bradley, coming off back-to-back 10-plus strikeout performances for the first time in his career. He's given just 2 runs in 12 innings his last couple times out. He had a bad outing in Detroit back in June. And in the 5 games since, it's pitched to a 2.93 ERA, and that's Zach Neto will deal with here. Neto, who did homer off of Bradley last season. First pitch of the ball game, Neto fouls it off.
Hey, something different. Zach Neto swinging at the first pitch against a really good pitcher, trying to do some damage right away.
Angels were really aggressive on the first pitch yesterday against Joe Ryan. Got a couple of runs in the 3rd, but the Angel offense limited. One thing that we've seen with Bradley this year is he's had trouble getting ahead in counts. That said, he's been about as good as it gets in working back into counts once he falls behind. Ground ball over to Lee. Takes his time with it. It's an easy first out.
Yeah, there's a little bit of troubles in the first inning so far this season. 7th inning, he's pitched 12 earned runs with a couple home runs allowed. So important for the Halos to do some damage here in the first.
27, Mike Trout. Now 12-time All-Star, 3-time MVP, twice All-Star Game MVP, including what he did here when he got his first MVP honors in a Midsummer Classic. That was 12 years ago in this very ballpark.
That's amazing. 12 years ago, and he's going back to the All-Star game.
1-0 to Trout. Hits a ball in the air. It's the left side in the left field. Martin coming up for it, drifting towards foul territory and staying fair, and it's out 2.
Hyundai key for the game today for the Halos to be able to win this series against the Twins. End up on a good note. Going Bob Dylan, don't think twice. It's all right. So don't second guess yourself. Be ready, be aggressive, and do some damage.
The times have been a changing for Nolan Shawnuel. His batting average climbing the last couple of weeks. Got it to 272 now. He's had a good series.
Well played there. Well played.
Thank you very much. Like, I know Bob Dylan. You say, I don't know my music. I don't. I know country. And the thing about Bob Dylan, I mean, I'm a country guy. He's inspired like so many country songs and of every genre.
I'm feeling pretty good right now.
That's good. All right, I like that.
Way to go. Way to go, Trent. You're inspired with some tunes today.
That's good. I mean, I just emptied the tank. That's what I got. As Nolan Shawnuel falls behind 0-2. I don't think there's ever been a more covered artist than Bob Dylan. Duluth guy.
Well, you think about it, a lot of his songs, and then other artists singing his songs, and tremendous too.
Oh yeah.
From Jimi Hendrix, Guns N' Roses, amongst others. I mean, phenomenal.
There's the 1-2 to Nolan Shonowell. Fouled off.
Boy, as a pitcher in these afternoon games like this, Trent, you don't need as many pitches to warm up and get ready.
Yeah, you're loose right away.
Usually like around 35 to 40 range, maybe 20 today, and you're ready to go. Just spin a few and you're ready.
It's warm and sticky on this Sunday afternoon. Foul tip. He says he held on to it. That should be strike 3, and there you go. Jeffers is like, wait a minute, that's a strike, as Laz Diaz, the home plate umpire, is going to have the discussion with Nolan Shonowell. A strikeout to end the inning. The Angels go down in order. It's stuck right there.
Wow, I guess they said no.
Huh. Tip that sits in between the stomach and the leg of the catcher, Ryan Jeffers. And that's what Laz Diaz was looking at, saying that he had caught the foul tip. I guess the only question is Kurt Suzuki gets an explanation here, maybe wondering if it hit the glove first.
It looked like it did tip the glove to go in to hit him in the thigh.
If it hits the glove first and he traps it, then it's okay. If it doesn't hit the glove first, then that should have been a foul ball and not a strikeout. It should be 0-2 as Nolan Shonowell goes over to first base. So I guess Kurt Suzuki got the explanation he was looking for from the crew chief, Laz Diaz, and we play on here in the bottom of the first inning.
And Kurt Suzuki probably said, you know what, I caught a lot of games. Yeah. I don't think that ever happened to me before.
Ends up being just a 10-pitch first inning for Taj Bradley, and now Jose Soriano gets set to work for the Halos.
Yeah, looking for that another solid start. He's had 2 pretty good ones in a row. Seemed like he's back to his normal self, but always important to be able to have those feel for his secondary pitches.
It's going to be Trevor Larnach leading things off for the Minnesota Twins here as the Angels trying to get a series win after getting the victory on Friday night. Fell yesterday. It's first pitch strike. Gooby, we've seen Jose Soriano start to turn some things around his last couple outings.
Yeah, I believe it was edges with his fastball are setting up those secondary pitches so effectively.
Hit well to right.
Soler out there.
Soler there for the out.
And my go-tos for Soriano to have another solid start, to pick up that 9th win. It's been elusive for a while. My go-tos for Sori to deal a snap on that knuckle curve. 43 punch-outs, over 45% whiff percentage, but swings over the top of the split. A lot of left-handed batters in the lineup, 29 punch-outs. Another over 40% whiff percentage. So 2 pitches for Soriano working today against his Twins lineup, over 40% whiff percentage.
Jeffers gets set to work here. We were talking about that last strikeout and Nolan Shonowell had the foul tip. It was forever, the ball had to hit the hand or glove for it to be an out. The rule changed a few years ago. So now if it gets lodged anywhere, as long as you can dislodge it with your hand, then it's okay. And if it gets stuck in your equipment, it's a different story. But that's what we're able to see happen as Jeffers is able to retrieve it from where it got lodged, and that's why it's a strikeout.
So a couple of knuckle curves, and this overall the velocity and spin on his knuckle curve, especially if you go back to the last game, we noticed a little bit of a difference for Soriano. It's definitely down as far as velocity of it and a different type of break, especially to the glove side.
Right at Oswald Peraza for out 2.
Defense behind Soriano today, and he's going to be around the strike zone. A lot of action in the infield, and Denzer Guzman has been really good at third base. Even coming in the other day, first game of the series, made a great play all the way back at third base, but he's been solid overall at third base so far this season for the Halos. Neto next to him, saw Peraza and Shonowell in the infield. So they're making a play the first of the game out there in right field.
I mean, we always say you have the big moment in the field, then you hit next. It's also true when you're not used to playing in the outfield, and Slayer doesn't often. Sure enough, very first ball of the game goes his direction.
Yeah, last time he's been out there, right, since it was May 10th, so it's been a while. And it's not an easy right field to play in this ballpark. A lot of different caroms off different parts and different surfaces of the wall out there.
The wind direction here is fascinating to me, just the way this ballpark is set up with how much wind comes in from right field and then goes out to left field. So you can be in the ballpark, you look at all the flags, you can see flags going in all kinds of different directions depending on which part of the ballpark you're looking at. Here's a 2-1. Check swing on the appeal to Honora. And Bell cuts through that, 3-2.
Pretty good gas on that one, 97. Good pop. Love this limestone here. You can really hear the sound of the mitt on a firm fastball.
Here comes the 3-2 for Jose Soriano. It's a little dribbler right to Oswald Peraza, and a 1-2-3 frame for Soriano in the first.
About 97 is cutter slash slider at just under 90 miles per hour. That same arm slot tunnels very, very well, but a tight break to that slider. I'm going with slider with it all day long now. Because this looking at research, I'm like, that's a lot of swing and misses on a cutter. You don't see that too often, especially when you think of a whiff percentage that high on a cutter. Well, now you look out, it's a slider.
Well, now you understand why it's the highest rated one in terms of swing and miss. The chase he gets on that pitch. Look, as long as Taj Bradley's fine with it, who are we to say? But is what it is. Call it whatever you want. 2-1 to Jorge Soler, who's doubled in each of the first 2 games of this series. Had a big 2-run double in the 3rd inning yesterday. Get the Angels back in that one. Angels unable to win it, but it's a big early moment. A day where the Angels had a tough time getting hits with runners on, but Soler did. That's all right, back to Bradley. Self-defense makes the flip to first.
He had a hard ground ball back up the middle yesterday, over 100 miles an hour. This one pretty firm back up the middle too, 105 off the bat. That's why you work on those things. That's why we see that the Angels pitchers at home, they've done that quite a bit this season. And they've had a decent homestand where they're out there working and fielding their position. You better be ready when the baseball's that hard coming back at you.
First pitch to Joe Adell's a foul ball. Adell, 247, 13 homers on the year. Those 53 RBIs lead the team. Adell falls behind 0-2. Adell sends one the other way. It's in the right field. It's Roden there, and he's got it. That's the second out.
Pretty efficient, quick out so far for Bradley in a warm afternoon like this. That's your goal always, to see how many outs you get very quickly in an at-bat. A long at-bat can really wear you out.
I mentioned the first inning, Bradley had that tough outing in Detroit. And the 5 games since, his pitch was sub-3 ERA, back-to-back best outings that he's had all year. Some of his best career numbers as Josh Lowe goes after the first pitch, sends a ball to right field. That ball is up, and that ball is gone.
I think that was mentioned on the pregame show, Trent.
Tip with a cap.
Josh, how low can you go? And that went way out, 103 off the bat.
Lowe crushed that baseball into the wind and gives the Angels the early lead.
Got a pitch that was low in the zone, a splitter, and just like that, the Halos are up 1-0. Splitter that stayed flat. And so did that baseball get flattened.
Now Oswald Peraza will bat against Bradley.
It's the 14th home run he's allowed now this season.
And that's part of what Taj Bradley has been working on, and part of how he's gone about, kind of the struggles and navigating through it. He's a big journal guy. He's always kind of been into the journaling thing, and at first it was some personal stuff, then it kind of essentially become like a personal handbook for him for how to pitch, and he's now sharing it with some other guys, coaches, working through some things. And leaned on that heavily after the poor start, has pitched really well, but now has another thing to add to his journal, and it's Josh Lowe's name.
Yes. Hey, believe me, every pitcher remembers every home run you've given up against a hitter. At least you should, anyhow.
Yeah.
Or at least some of us do, reluctantly.
Well, there haven't been too many for you to have to worry about. Maybe. That's the,
well,
that's the beauty
at
of it.
least last 30 years, yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Oswald Peraza. Eight home runs now for Josh Lowe, and again, that wind in right field was really blowing in hard, and Lowe crushed that ball. A good start and some smiles in the Angels dugout here in the early goings.
Much as we love the sound of that mid, that was a good sound off the bat for Josh Lowe.
2-2.
99, bring it up there with his 4-seamer. Both these pitchers. Both have an assortment of swing and miss secondary pitches too. This is a good battle with 2 really good arms on the mound today.
There's a 3-2 payoff. That runs inside, so that's going to be a walk to Oswald Peraza.
Now this is where we were talking about, I think, Trent, where you think stolen base. Press the issue, especially with 2 outs. The speed, already 11 stolen bases this season for Peraza. Jeffers hasn't thrown out a ton of base stealers, at 16%, and 5 stolen bases this season, none caught against Bradley. 18 overall with this 2 caught in his career.
Peraza's had 11 bags this year as Guzman fouls that bag. It's interesting with Jeffers, and he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. It'll be interesting to see what ends up happening here at the deadline. The Twins very much in the mix right now. In fact, they're tied with Seattle for the 3rd wild card spot, but Jeffers does a lot really well. But the arm and catching runners has been an area of deficiency.
Peraza was going to go there, but Bradley did a really good job of holding that ball as long as you can with the pitch timer. Got a sign early and held it. But he was definitely going. Not a bad time to go 0-2 also. Looking for a secondary pitch.
Does not go, and Guzman fouls it into the screen. Keeping a long look over at Peraza. Again, a deke and strike 3. Guzman swings and misses. Second strikeout of the afternoon for Taj Bradley. But Josh Lowe puts the Angels out in front. It's 1-0.
The starting rotation out of the break, so unclear what day we will see Walbert Urania start. But Walby had a cool meeting on the field before the game this afternoon. Angels third base coach Keith Johnson introduced Twins pitcher Pablo Lopez to Urania. KJ had Pablo in Miami. Sandy Alcantara was there too, coming into his own a little bit. He knew the worker that Sandy is, knew the worker that Pablo is, and had to go through some of those things a little bit, learn through the fire. So he wanted to connect Pablo with Urania. He said, I know Pablo's heart, and with him it wasn't about controlling those emotions. It was more about getting a little bit more of that dog in him, being more of a bulldog. And you kind of see that with Urania and how talented he is. And Walby was all smiles after he had the chance to talk on the field with Lopez. He said he told him, don't try to be perfect. The hitters are good too, so just try to make your pitches and have fun out there.
Yeah, I mean, they both have pretty good changeups too. That helps along the line too. So you know, that's the thing, especially as a young pitcher, that you think you always have to make the perfect pitch. Well, hitters will get themselves out, even on a mistake pitch here and there. So if you don't try to be too perfect, just do your thing, you have a chance to be successful. Especially, doesn't hurt, he has great stuff too.
I think it speaks a little bit to the fraternity of baseball, yeah, and the players interacting and being able to go to the other clubhouse and have those conversations. And see Pablo Lopez now, and you know, I just even think about yesterday and with what Gooby, you were able to experience. Obviously, you see some of your former teammates that were here, part of the Twins organization, but also competitors and guys that you used to fight and battle against. And you know, over time, yeah, you always have those battles, but you still kind of you're part of that club.
Yeah, you can learn so much. I always say, whatever nugget you can get from a fellow, especially for me as a fellow pitcher, I didn't want to talk to position players. I wanted my edge on them. I wanted them not to like me, and I didn't like them either. Until we became teammates, or when we retire, we could talk some good stories. But when you can gain something from a fellow pitcher, especially a good one like Pablo has been throughout his career, it's great for Urania.
I always thought you liked hitters.
Never.
Nothing ensued to Cody Clemens.
Was that about as quick as possible?
That was about fast as possible response. Maybe they'd give you a little more support, Goobs.
That's all right.
Trying to.
My teammates, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
All right, so I think that last foul ball might have messed up the pitch comp. So they'll get that sorted out here as O'Hoppe will strap that to the knee, get the right remote control. That's a perfect spot. Always lose the remote. Can't lose it if it's attached to you.
Yeah, that is for sure.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Cody Clemens. 0-2. Ground ball to first, and Shonowell makes the toss over to the covering Soriano for the first out.
A couple ground ball outs already this afternoon for Soriano. I personally, even though we talk a lot about the punch outs and he's got quite a few of them, 115, you go back to that last game, he didn't have a bunch of punch outs. I think he is more of a ground ball pitcher than a strikeout guy. Sometimes when he gets caught up in the strikeout, that's when the walks mount up on him.
Soriano entering play today, 51 walks, most in the American League, but he's only issued 3 over his last 2 starts. And he has been racking up the strikeouts, but ground ball Soriano was the guy that we saw the dominant version of in April.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of them, most times because of it, it's down. It's not hard, squared up contact against them. Boy, that's back-to-back nasty knuckle curves. And I say this often, he's already set up to try and swing at it again. You don't have to show a fastball here. You can paint a fastball away down, but up and in or elevated, you don't need to do that one. That's a good try on that one. That's actually a really good knuckle curve too.
That's a very interesting point you bring up, Gooby, because I mean this year the walks have been up, the home runs, he's given up as many home runs this year as he did a season ago, and you kind of trying to figure out why. He's had so much success, but it does seem like it's because when he falls behind in counts, he is forced to throw that 4-seamer. When he works ahead, it's a very different situation.
Yeah, when he can get the hitters to look for a secondary pitch, he can get that 4-seamer by, but when he's forced in the zone with it, becomes a little more hittable. So that's a pretty good hack at a 4-seamer. And you go back to those first 2 knuckle curves, I mean, they were nasty. Where it starts, that's in the strike zone. And look how far it broke off the plate. That's the first one. Followed it right back with the one on the corner, and it's well off into the left-handed batter's box, and he got a swing against a very good hitter, Royce Lewis.
That is wicked movement. Jose Soriano. It's Royce Lewis steps back into the batter's box here with a 2-2 count. Nobody on, 1 out. Gets away.
You go back to that knuckle curve. When you look at the first 18 starts as far as that arm side run, 8 to 12.2 inches. Now it's almost a half a foot more break off that last start. That's why we're asking him, even going, is that a different angle you're throwing your knuckle curve? He goes, sometimes it's a 12 to 6 break, sometimes it's different. That last time was definitely different.
Ends up resulting in a walk and a good layoff by Royce Lewis, who is behind 0-2 and ends up with a free pass. We saw that knuckle curve a lot last time as well, and it was clearly working.
Yeah, you look at that percentages, but also the spin rate is down, velocity is down, so it's a different type of break like we just showed on that arm side break horizontal. It was a lot more so, especially that last time out. And we talked about thinking and wanting a strikeout. It was 0-2. Tried to make the perfect pitch, ends up walking him. That's an extra 4 or 5 pitches you throw instead of finish them off at 3. Let him hit a ground ball.
Ground ball here could end the inning if he's able to get one to Brooks Lee.
Now, a punch out is big with a guy in scoring position, and he has that. But also when there's no one on base, you're ahead of the count. Just think how many quick outs on a warm afternoon like this.
Sure.
Save those pitches for that arsenal later on in the game, or in a big moment with a guy in scoring position.
Here's the 0-2. Defensive swing, stays alive.
So now you would think he's got him set up for his splitter now. He's got him to swing at that fastball away, down. Splitter down and away. Has a good chance to get that punch out and have a quick 4-pitch at bat.
Lee, little flare back behind second. Zach Neto takes a few steps back, and it's out number 2.
Like that. Finish off the batter as quick as possible. Nice job by Sori.
Get the soft contact.
Yep.
I mean, every batter in this inning has been down 0-2. Like Soriano's done a really good job of jumping ahead. Here in the very early goings is Alan Roden, left-handed right fielder, will bat.
I'm going to throw over the first base just once here or so coming up with Royce Lewis.
And there he goes. And the pickoff toss got him. The tag applied. I guess the Angels are thinking the same thing as my partner Mark Gubiza, but they're going to review this. I think they're waiting in the clubhouse and they will say play on. The pickoff toss works, and the Angels get out of the inning. Nice move from Jose Soriano. And the swipe from Shotwell ends the frame. First pitch to Logan O'Hoppe, misses upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes as Taj Bradley is back out for his 3rd inning of work with the Angels on top 1-0. Hoppe chases after that one. Bradley gave the home run to Lowe, the only run of the game so far, a solo shot.
A lot of times you'll see pitchers on warm afternoons will wear the long sleeves. That way, you know, the sweat doesn't get down on the hand and you have difficulties controlling the baseball.
Logan O'Hoppe hits one well the other way, but Roden able to track it down, and that's going to be the out.
When you look at Jeffers, how he sets up with no one on base as compared to a runner on base. We talk a lot about the possibilities of stealing the base. The difference in the setup, you know, on the left with no one on base, gives that low target, has the foot out, but then with runners on, he's already put himself in position to be able to catch and throw because it's been a little bit of an issue. 26 stolen bases against him, just 5 caught this season. Feels he has a better shot of catch and throw quicker on the pop time that way.
I guess trying to cheat it a little bit, but doesn't that leave you a little susceptible framing and blocking wise?
Well, it's almost the way they used to catch for a long period of time, and now you see with the one leg down there to be able to give it a better job of framing and bringing it up in the strike zone.
1-0 the count to Zach Neto. The numbers on Neto lately have been really impressive. Last 11 games batting .349. He's had a good series, 2 hits yesterday. Ball 1 strike on Zach Neto. We know how aggressive Neto is and continues to be. They're still finding ways to get on base.
That was a splitter again. That splitter, the home run he gave up to Josh Lowe, that was the first home run he's allowed on his splitter this season. Even though now he's given up 14, that's the first on the splitter.
See the progress Zach Neto has made, not the last month, as it goes back. Important thing too for Zach Neto is cutting down the strikeouts. First 82 games, he had a 32% strikeout rate, but in the last 11, that's down to 23%. So we are seeing Zach Neto reduce that strikeout number fairly significantly.
But he's not giving up the extra base power too. Right. That's because that's what you really want.
Yeah, his OPS in that span is right at 1,000, and on cue, Zach Neto ends up striking out. It's still going to happen, but it's been reduced.
That was a pitcher's pitch. He froze him with a fastball. He wasn't anticipating the fastball. When you look at percentage of pitches when he's ahead, Bradley in that count, he's not going to throw a fastball all that often. He was anticipating something breaking. He got the express instead.
It's Mike Trout.
Erica did a great job in that interview with Trouty before going to the All-Star game. The excitement level he has for his family and his boys be at the game. And watching the home run hitting contest too.
It's going to be a really neat experience for the Trout family. And you know, for Mike, as many All-Star games he's been named to, he hasn't played in one since 2019. So to be able to come back and then to do so in Philadelphia in front of his family, you have to think it's going to be a big deal for him and a big deal for baseball to celebrate Mike Trout, who belongs and has had the numbers to back that up.
Trout swung at the first pitch 3 times yesterday. He doesn't swing at 3-0 a lot. Let's see if he'll try it here. Well, he didn't.
If you had any idea what the Angels' game plan was on Joe Ryan yesterday, when Mike Trout is swinging first pitch, pretty good indication that's the team philosophy on how they want to attack him. Here's a 3-1. Trout able to send that one into shallow center field, drops it in for a base hit. Speaking of Mike Trout in the All-Star game, it was here 12 years ago when he won the MVP, the first of back-to-back MVP honors in Minnesota. And what a game that was for Trout. Has a double, a triple, brings in 2, somehow kept that one fair, and able to raise the bat. Gets the honors.
That's a pretty good list there. The guys that won multiple MVPs of the All-Star game. All Hall of Famers except for Steve Garvey, who's gotten a lot of votes himself as far as being a Hall of Famer. And
then Trout to do it back-to-back. Mike Trout in All-Star games, 7 for 17 with a 1,500 OPS. Nolan Shonowell goes opposite field, and that's going to be another base hit. So
that's so Shonowell that way. What a good swing that was. He's been swinging the bat very, very well. That batting average just keeps creeping up higher and higher. It's a pretty good pitch too. 4-seam fastball down. Serves it to left center field, hit well.
Jorge Soler digs in with 2 on and 1 out.
Shonowell up to 274 now.
Soler goes after the first pitch. It's a ground ball over to Lee. Makes the easy out at second to Clemens. Angels get 2 hits. Would leave him there. For ERA, the lowest ever through a first 6 starts to a season in baseball history. You knew it wasn't necessarily going to be sustainable to be that great. And Jose Soriano, though, has still been able to be productive even after some hiccups. And now we're seeing Jose Soriano pitch with a 1-0 lead in the 3rd.
He had his first career pickoff last half inning. I mean, you're seeing some good velo on his fastball, too, 97, 98.
Hit sharply in the left center field gap. Long run, and getting there is Lowe.
Already a solid overall game for Josh Lowe. Ball was running away from his left-handed bat, just kind of drifting. Good coverage in the outfield. Got to run a long way to run that one down. Got a number of guys playing in different positions in the outfield here today.
A Trout DH day, all of a sudden it becomes a shakeup. We spent a lot of time talking about the importance for Taj Bradley in getting ahead and avoiding falling behind. For Jose Soriano, he's been ahead and getting first pitch strikes now to 7 of the first 8 batters he's faced.
Good sinker there, 98. Last time out, it felt like he threw his knuckle curve and splitter first pitch a ton. Seeing a little more usage of his fastball, which will make those other 2 pitches that much more effective.
I mean, for Soriano too, I mean, in April we're talking Soriano in the Cy Young conversation, and now to get to a point where his ERA is climbed. He's had some hiccups certainly, but trying to get back to that as this ball is going to end up going towards the gap, making a hard turn, headed for second is Keyshaw, who's going to put on the late brakes. I mean, he has good speed, maybe not quite that good. He'll stop with a single, but for Soriano to try to work through this and be able to absorb the struggles and get to the other side, it feels like we're starting to see things trend that direction for Ozone.
Yeah, Trent, good point. He's starting to figure things out. Sometimes when you have those struggles, you don't try to muscle up and throw harder. You try to throw easy, try easy. It's the hardest thing to do for a pitcher, but when you do that, you have a chance to have better movement on your pitches, better control of your pitches. We've seen that over the last 2-3 starts.
Misses that time to Keyshaw. excuse me, Kreider, I should say, with Kershaw over at first. 1-0.
I'm go after that knuckle curve. Face 9 batters, 7 first pitch strikes. Twins with 55 stolen bases this year.
Minnesota, one of the better offensive teams in baseball, entered the weekend tops. And if you go really in the last month or so, you could argue there hasn't been a better offensive team than the Minnesota Twins. Certainly not in the American League. 2-1. We got to be careful here with the 9-hitter and turning it over to Larnach, who's been very good and an outstanding hitter in Jeffers after that. Larnach was scuffling to start the season, got moved to the leadoff role, and it just became a completely different hitter and a real threat. Sharply hit. That's going to go in for a single. And now back-to-back one-out hits from the 8 and 9 hitters in this Twins lineup. Have 2 on for the top of the order.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad spot either. It wasn't hit real hard, but hit perfectly in between that shortstop and third base position. Ran that one in on him. Hit on top of the baseball, too. He's thrown 18 fastballs, 15 of them for strikes so far, so that's a good sign. Commanding the fastball, but now he's really going to have to command his pitches at this part of the lineup now for the Twins. Usually you'll see him throw that splitter maybe in the first pitch.
So now here's Larnach. Strike into him, 0-1. Soriano in his first jam of the afternoon. Here's the 1-1. Just off. Just off.
Big pitch here now for Soriano. Got to be able to throw this for a strike, or at least close enough to get a swing on it.
Gets the ground ball. That's going to bleed through into right field. Being waved around is Kershaw. He will score. That ties the game.
Hit that one hard, though. That was hard of the plate. That sinker, we talk a lot about that sinker. When it's on a corner, it's tough to square up, but it's right in the middle of the plate. He stayed on that one well. Another big swing from Larnach. Continues a hot bat.
So 3 straight singles have evened up this game, and still 2 on. Now runners at the corners for Ryan Jeffers. .97 for a first pitch strike. Jeffers in his second game back from a broken hammy. Missed 2 months of the season. Important bat in this lineup. 0-2.
Rolling into a couple double plays.
Soriano could use one here. Jeffers hit a ball sharply to Peraza for the first out, his first time up.
So he's got Jeffers right now thinking sinker. Now maybe get that chase on a knuckle curve. Ooh, that's a little bit too much of the plate there. Got away with that one.
So as Jeffers just misses, Soriano resets with runners at the corners. Twins have had 3 straight singles. Now 0-2. A big early moment in this game for Jose Soriano.
Got to believe you're going to see that knuckle curve and just break off the plate.
0-2 is hit into left field. That's going to get down. One run is in. Larnach is being waved around as well. And Jeffers on the play at the plate has himself a 2-run double.
Again, that knuckle curve has got to be a little bit off the outside part of the plate. And that target where it was set, it's a little bit different of that break. We talked about how that was more of a 12-6 break on this knuckle curve. You want that one breaking off the outside corner. He was so set up for that. Just like that, the Twins swinging the bat well again.
A good offensive team, and you see why. I mean, it starts, when the 8 and 9 hitters get hits with 1 out, and then you get to the top, and the top is where they do so much damage. Speaking of which, Josh Bell has 60 RBIs this year as that one ends up with a backstop, and now a throw down to third, and he's out.
Does that count as a rebound? They're going to check that one. Unless he came off the base, I think he was safe there.
Looks like this is likely to be reviewed.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Must have came off there. That was a tremendous rebound by O'Hoppe.
I mean, the ball kicked so hard off the backstop, but O'Hoppe had to go up and get it and then fired the throw as Jeffers broke for third.
Tried that little swim move, and he got him before he got the hand in there. Now we talk about that limestone behind home plate.
That's it. It's a pretty athletic tag there, too, by Guzman.
O'Hoppe channel is Dennis Rodman on the rebound.
The rebound for the putback. Three and one. Ends up being ball 4.
Looks like he's going to challenge it.
Catcher challenge the ball call.
Well, that's going to be a lost challenge, it looks like.
Hoppy just trying to get his pitcher out of the inning. There's our ABS review powered by T-Mobile. Ends up being ball 4. So 5 straight Twins have reached. And if not for Ryan Jeffers being thrown out at third trying to steal on a wild pitch, be real trouble. Now Hoppy's going to go talk to Soriano. And while they chat, a quick word from Jack in the Box.
Fired up with my new Hot Ones Munchie Meal with a Sriracha Curly Fry Burger or Buffalo Chicken Tater Melt.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Gooby, you said something interesting about the shape of that knuckle curve. And Jose Soriano kind of going back and forth. How does he find the consistency with that pitch?
Especially when you see the knuckle curve going the way it is going today, I think at that point you have to set that target off the outside part of the plate, because you set in middle, it's going to go straight down middle. And when it's going the way like it has been, we showed that arm angle and that arm side break. It was a lot more so.
Clemens goes after the first pitch and fouls it away. And that's got to be difficult too in Logan O'Hoppe's defense, because the shape has been different almost start to start for Soriano.
And it really comes down to the feel of the pitch and how much he can spin that up there.
There's the ground ball. It's right to Peraza. Peraza makes the toss to first. Final out of the inning, but the Twins strike for 3, and they're on top 3-1. Here's Joe Adell hitting off the inning for the Angels. I do appreciate the Twins statue representing the collared crew neck. I guess they're accepting.
Yes.
Welcoming the Halos here. They have been, Minneapolis has been a wonderful host. It would be a better trip if the Angels can win this series and come back down 3-1 right now. 1 ball, 1 strike on a double.
Got to respond right here for the offense. Had an opportunity last half inning, a couple singles there with 2 outs, and then right away ground ball out.
For as good as Bradley has been his last couple times out, we've seen some signs here. I mean, he gives up the home run to Lowe and then immediately walks Peraza after that. Gave up back-to-back singles to Trout and Shonowell in the 3rd. Angels have shown that they can stack some things against a very good pitcher, especially lately in Taj Bradley.
Just looking for those hits and with runners in scoring position. The opportunity is there. You know they're going to come through with that at some point.
The Angels 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position yesterday. 0 for 1 in this game.
I mean, Joe had an incredible series down there in Texas. Looking to get going here now.
Joe Adell, and it's picked by Kreidler. Nice play at shortstop, and that's the out.
He hit that ball extremely hard. At 106 off the bat.
It was well played. And here's Josh Lowe.
I'm not highlighting him ever again on the defensive side.
That's it. Gooby, what is going on with you? Every guy you highlight on defense ends up making great plays.
I think he's going to be correct.
Twins challenge. The ABS review powered by T-Mobile. And it's a strike. He's able to get it back for his pitcher. 0-1 to Lowe, homered. Last time up, it's the only Angel run of the day.
Sticking to the 4-seamer. Remember, he had a splitter out against him. First home run he's allowed on a splitter this year. Yeah, when you look at the defenses, Trent, there's so many tremendous athletes now in this game. The guys you can tell to put the hard work in, guys playing different positions.
And that one goes off of Bradley. It's a tough play. And able to make the out. And a nice recovery there. And Kreidler. So we showed you the crew neck. How about Harmon Killebrew channeling his inner SpongeBob fandom?
He's ready.
That's it. But I hope we don't get in trouble for that. Putting SpongeBob on the statue here. Out beyond right field at Target Field.
Well, we talked about his incredible signature.
Got a key to a pretty autograph.
Yes.
It's good having Torrey Hunter around in Texas. He's back here for this series and everything that it's meant with the Hall of Fame induction yesterday. Twins broadcaster, the iconic Dick Bramer. 1-1.
What an honor that was for him yesterday. He's loved his Twins for a long, long time. Worked for 4 decades here. Saw him win a couple World Series championships.
And everybody was back, and they had a great turnout. Alumni very well represented. 1-2 to Peraza. That time Jeffers does not hang on. So Peraza able to stay alive. Here's the 1-2. Peraza takes it low.
Is that cutter that we know now is a slider? Coach Mackey said it's a slider. It's a slider.
That's it. It's lifted in foul territory. I think everybody thinks it's a slider except for Taj Bradley. Whatever he's comfortable with it, that's what we'll roll with. 2-2. That's in the dirt.
Worked the walk last at bat, Peraza.
Yeah. Bradley's had a tougher feel for that splitter so far today. Mentioned working a walk before. Peraza in 2 at-bats has now seen 14 pitches. making Bradley work. That time he gets rung up, strike 3, and the inning is over. Angels go down in order in the 4th. The first round selection, 12th overall, Jaron Avakula from Georgia Tech to follow. Orange County product Gavin Grahovic from Texas A&M, Villa Park High School, Rylan Luho from Georgia. What a crew that the Angels brought in that draft. A couple of local players.
I love Gavin's reaction when he found out he was drafted by the Angels. That was tremendous to see that.
And there's something too, guys that are really excited not just to be in the big leagues, but to be with the Angels.
Yeah, grew up as Angels fans and wants to be part of the resurgence of the Angels and be in that organization. They all grew up initially watching successful baseball.
Grengler, the first-round pick. I mean, to be a Huntington Beach native, his uncle and Angels tickets right behind third base, would come out to games, has for his whole life at 17 years old. And that's the first-round pick to get taken by the hometown team. And could be Orange County has been such a hotbed of baseball talent forever. I'm biased. I'm an Orange County guy. I get it. But if you look at Southern California, and Orange County specifically, but in Southern California, the 50 miles from the OC to the San Fernando Valley, I don't think you're going to find a better stretch of 50 miles of baseball talent in the entire world.
Yeah, Trent, you're exactly right. And when I was coaching up there in the Valley and coming down to Orange County to play the teams, I'm like, it's like you're playing professional baseball against those guys. I mean, every program, high school program, so good, so talented. Well, I'll tell you, you mentioned from the Valley down in LA area all the way down through Orange County, there is so much talent. I mean, so much baseball talent, overall talent in all sports, but especially when you think about baseball.
Of course, Royce Lewis, one of them, he was a Jay Serra product, a first overall pick. So Royce Lewis in the company with Freddie Freeman, Garrett Cole, Paul Skeens, Nolan Arenado, Matt Chapman, those three all El Toro guys, Shane Bieber, Laguna Hills. I mean, there have been some really good players and are now currently in the game, but for years that has been the case. Gary Carter, Sunny Hills High School, Orange County guy. You go way back. Walter Johnson, Orange County guy.
The big train.
Fullerton High School. I mean, it goes way back. And Mark Trumbo, OC guy,
yeah.
Villa Park, like Gavin Grahovic was. And of course, that's where the Boones were as well. Villa Park.
Yes, indeed. Another long at bat after chance to finish off Lewis again.
Lifted into foul territory, back behind first. Going after it is Shonowell, and he's got just enough room for the out.
It's really good going back on pop-ups. He's really turned in, I even seen some articles of late, to turn into a really solid defensive first baseman. Talk about the scoops, but overall been playing really good baseball defensively at first base. He gives a thumb up. So he said, yeah,
he's good.
I agree.
Now, of course,
he hears everything. He's shown it well.
As Brooks Lee gets set to bat, a California product himself, goes after the first pitch, hits it to a Florida guy in Zach Neto, to another in Shonowell, and 2 gone. You take a look at our Kia player profile at Jose Soriano, non-fastballs this year. It's been close to the top in baseball.
A whiff percentage of 43%. It's 5th best. But all those pitches, those secondary pitches, are set up by his commanding, especially of his sinker. Even you go back to last inning, a couple of those hits were on 4-seam fastball. The sinker is the pitch he needs to be effective, and it's got to be on the edges or off the edges, and it's called a strike.
0-1 to Roden. I mentioned all those California guys and the Florida guys that the Angels have, because Florida likes to lay claim that they have the most baseball talent. Well, per capita, they would be right, but California has produced more talent by double of the next closest state. Goes right back to Soriano. Toss over to Shonowell, and the inning is over. So good bounce back for Sori. It's 3-1 Twins.
I'll be singing backpack, backpack.
That's it. Denzer Guzman leading off the inning. You know, Gooby, it's fun talking about all the draft picks and who's coming and how exciting it is for all these new prospects. You're into the organization and the talent that Southern California features. I mean, for the Angels to be able to hone in on some of these guys, really good players in the Angels' backyard, and then to keep them with the organization, not let them get away. It's kind of cool.
And this the enthusiasm to say they could put on that Angels uniform. That's what you want. You want that positivity back. You want them to believe they could be the guys to get the Angels back to the postseason.
The Angels are building for the future in so many ways. With the talent that is here in the underbelly of the organization, improvement, John Mozeliak making that a priority. So that ball is hit well towards the gap. It's going to be Roden. Closes in. I mean, even today, you have the Futures game happening. You had Nelson Rada, Tyler Bremner in that game. Nelson Rada is up scoring a run, stealing a base. First, running well in that game, showing the speed. I mean, it's encouraging what he can do.
Yeah, the only thing you think about with Rada doesn't necessarily have is the power, but everything else is there for him. But that's what you usually think of a lot of times as a center fielder. The guy can go get the baseball, and an excellent defender, great throwing arm, really good eye at the plate, could steal bases. There's a lot of upside and a lot to like about him.
Rada scored a run as well. This ball is hitting the left field. It's a run. For a long second out. And Tyler Bremner came and got the final out for the American League in the Futures game today in a 6-1, 7-inning win.
You just look for that improvement on the breaking ball because we know how good his command, his fastball, and changeup are. Boy, Bradley got away with that slider there. It was right in the heart of the plate. Just a little bit higher. Hit it too high on that one there for O'Hoppe.
Here's Zach Neto. Big hack for strike one. Neto's got 19 home runs this year. We'll see if he can get to 20 before the All-Star break.
Interesting thing is, though, when you think about the All-Star break, it's already the 97th game of the year.
We say the first half. That's different than saying the midpoint. It is not the midpoint.
It starts so early, the baseball season. The 26th of May. It was really nice and warm, too. I mean, of March, I should say.
Yeah.
Well, in my brain, it's already May.
It's okay. Well, you think about that. It's been going since Valentine's Day. Every day, basically. Going back to spring training.
Started in Houston, and it was freezing in Chicago.
And that's another diving stop. Kreidler, sensational defense for the Twins. Takes a hit away from Zach Neto. For the Angels, 7 in a row have been retired. But it's taken some really sharp defense, and the Twins have a 3-1 lead. Moments of the first half. I'm taking it back to the Wade Meckler game. May 22nd, the Anaheim native making his debut. First inning, goes and makes this sliding catch. Crashes into the wall. And if you thought that was a nice first impression, after getting a greeting from Mike Trout, it was what he did at the plate as the pitch to Keyshaw is past the glove of Neto. Almost returning the favor, instead a leadoff single for Keyshaw. And after that diving catch, facing Jacob deGrom no less. It's the 3-run homer.
How about that being your first career home run, too?
Anaheim native, first game back with the Angels. You can't make a better first impression than what Wade Meckler was able to do.
I think that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, that's. Angels would go on a little bit of a run after that as well. Angels started a 4-game win streak, go 6 of 8, picking up W's. So, okay, that for me was my personal favorite.
That's a good choice. I like
first half. Here's Kreidler. Tapper to Soriano. Over to first. All right, Gooby. What about your favorite moment?
My favorite moment, I'll tell you, it's the All-Star. Mike Trout, what he did in New York in an epic battle with the Yankees and that certain guy out in right field for the Yankees. The reactions, too, for Trout. 5 home runs in the series at 375, 9 RBIs and some sounds and some distance as Aaron Judge looked on and just smiled to go, all right, Uncle, I can't compete with you right now. I can't keep up with what Trouty did there in the end. They could have won all 4 of those games, end up splitting it there in New York. What a moment that was for Trouty. He had the smile on his face. Wow, after that 4-game set. That's in Yankee Stadium against the Yankees.
Yeah, that series, look, the brighter the lights, the better Mike Trout is. In the Bronx, all-star games.
That back and forth with Aaron Judge, because Aaron Judge hit some home runs there too in the series. He was like, I give, Uncle.
There have been some real good battles between those guys through the years. That was amazing in April to see that.
That was like my Doc Holliday and Johnny Ringo moment there too. Doc Holliday won that for Trout.
Fouled back by Larnach. I'll be your Huckleberry. 0-2. I'll be curious to hear what Erica Weston has as her favorite moment of the first half.
Dun, dun, dun.
So as Larnach steps back into the batter's box, the runner in scoring position, less than 2 outs. Twins threatening, already on top 3-1. There's a foul ball. Okay, let's go with Erica Weston's pick.
All right, so many good episodes of the Joe Show over the course of the years, but you can't not go with this. The 3-home-run robbery game against the Mariners. First time in history that's ever happened in a game. Probably the last time we'll ever see that. We know the glove went to Cooperstown. Just so cool, and obviously just the whole story of it all, guys, with the improvements he made in the outfield. Nice catch by Zach Neto there. But just, he's so easy to root for, and then you have a guy do a historic thing like that to rob 3 home runs, and then the iconic photo at the very end to go along with it.
And it was a 1-0 victory, a leadoff home run by that guy just caught that pop-up, Zach Neto. That was unreal. I mean, Torrey Hunter said that was the best defensive game he had ever witnessed in his lifetime. And he's got a lot of gold gloves, too.
No kidding. That what a special night that was. First home series of the season. Quite the way to start the campaign. I also feel like we might have just gone in ascending order a little bit too, in terms of the magnitude of the moment.
They were all special.
They were. Definitely the people. Sorry, Gooby.
Well, I'm always in agreement with that.
1-1.
Really, for when you look at the win-loss record, and Kurt Suzuki said that, it's not anywhere near where anybody expected, and it's not been good. But there has been some special moments this season for the Halos so far, and you expect a lot more in the second half as this team starts to find ways to start believing and turning this thing around. Owe it to the fans, owe it to the organization. These guys got to start playing and winning ball games. That's what it comes down to, is winning ball games. How do you do that? Build back that culture.
Ground ball gets underneath the glove of Soriano, trying to recover and does in time.
That's why you never give up on a play.
What an effort, Soriano. We'll see if the Twins want to review this. They're not. They're coming off the field. There's the 3rd out. Jose Soriano, breathe a little easier. Miss it the first time, stuck with it, and gets the 3rd out. Got all the characters in there. That'll be fun. Here's Taj Bradley. Back to work here, top of the 6th inning. Mike Trout, Jose Soriano had the blemish in the 3rd inning, gave up 3, but a lot of zeros other than that.
By the way, that jersey will be great to wear down in Miami after that game. Perfect colors. Kind of cruise around down in Miami with it on. Yes.
Looking for, I want to see you wear that on the plane, Gooby.
Oh, there's no question.
Chase Silstead starting to get loose in the Angels bullpen. An indicator that Jose Soriano could be done after 5 3-run innings.
77 pitches.
We were talking about some of the top moments in the first half. How about this honorable mention? I don't know how many didn't mention Zach Neto's walk-off against the A's.
That was unreal. I remember he challenged the pitch to get the 2-0 count, and he walked it off against Ginn, who had a no-hitter going into the 9th inning. Adam Frazier got the first hit on an 0-2 pitch, and then a 2-0 pitch. He walked it off.
To go from getting no hit to winning the game in like 45 seconds.
And the same pitcher.
Against the same guy. I mean,
Yep.
Gooby, you said it, but there have been a lot of moments to celebrate, and I'm with you. I think everybody understands the bigger picture. The Angels being where they are in the standings, 20 games under 500, nowhere close to where you want to be. But doesn't mean you can't enjoy some of the really fun things that have happened in this first half as Mike Trout hits it to center field for a leadoff single.
Got 2 hits today.
Mike Trout in form, headed to the Midsummer Classic.
And just the feeling I've heard around from different people and scouts, the draft for the Halos so far, it's been really positive. Now, have to get them on board, sign them, and you have to develop these players. But a lot of positivity when it comes to that so far.
It's interesting. There's, you try to look for themes and you try to get an idea of the kind of draft it's been. A lot of hitters, for sure, a lot of hitters, but also I think some winners. Even today in the 5th round, Jackson Willits from Oklahoma, most outstanding player in the College World Series. Of course, we know his dad, Reggie, who is actually helping as an assistant coach on that Oklahoma Sooners team. That's the Angels' 5th round selection. His brother Eli went 1-1 last year to the Nationals. Just kind of go up and down. Hovey got a lot of success. In fact, it was his team that lost to Christian Moore's Tennessee team in the College World Series when he was a freshman. That's going to get past Lewis and into right field. Nolan Shonowell has his 2nd hit of the day. Mike Trout able to go 1st to 3rd, and the Angels have something going here. Runners to the corners with nobody out.
Mike Trout as good as we've ever seen as far as going, cutting corners, direct line to the bases. Had to get out of the way down the line drive too. He's showing some salsa dancing skills there himself. And that Willie Mays Hayes slide over to 3rd base again like yesterday at 2nd.
Angels have something brewing. Runners at the corners for Jorge Soler.
By the way, there's no law said we can't have an impromptu moment of the first half right here in this game for the Halos coming back.
Absolutely. No problem rewriting the script. Just missed. So Soler falls behind 0-2.
Deal with that 4-seamer upstairs. He might have to deal with that slider now. And Trout got to be ready in that secondary lead just in case he bounces it.
Trout and Shonowell had back-to-back hits in the 3rd, and then Bradley retired the next 7 until he got to Trout and Shonowell again here in the 6th, and well, sure enough, back-to-back hits. We'll see if the Angels can avoid the deja vu.
Good job of just battling on that one. Just hoping for a mistake at some point in this bat. Pretty good slider just off the plate. Would he go back to that slider again and go a little further off the plate, or does he try to throw a slider and it makes a mistake, spins it in the middle?
One-two. Soler, little floater, goes into shallow right field. Up for it is Rodin, who gets there, and it's not deep enough. All right, while we're talking about the future of Angels baseball, how about the Futures game today? Nelson Rada showing off the wheels, able to score. Coming around from 2nd. Looking like a flash. Sliding in safely, and then the last out of the game, Tyler Bremner comes in. Angels' 1st-round pick last year, and there you go. American League beats the National League 6-1 in the Futures game today.
That's still a great moment for you. Imagine a prospect like that Brenner getting the last out. That's a lot of stress on you. There's a lot of people at that ballpark. You're not used to that.
You come into the game. He was the 10th pitcher of the game for the American League in a 7-inning affair. So try being that skipper, just getting everybody in a showcase event like that as a prospect. But Larry Boa.
Well, I know he was prepping his guys. Hey, by the way, one of the most competitive human beings of all time. 7 a.m. meeting with his coaches. He wanted to win that one. I'll have to text Larry and say, sorry, bro.
Joe Adell hits a ground ball to Kryler, who's had a very good defensive game, to Clemens, and it's out at first base. Adell hits into a double play, and the inning is over. It was close, but Adell can't beat it out. Angels get 2 hits to start off this inning. It's Jose Soriano here to start this. Bottom of the 6th inning, he'll face Josh Bell, the 3-hitter. This Twins lineup, Bell, Clemens, Lewis, due up.
Kind of just surprising that Soriano's out of this game with 77 pitches. Let's hope everything's okay. Look, he was throwing well.
And he had been efficient outside of the 3rd inning. He had 25 pitches in that inning, but the 4th and 5th, 12 and 11 respectively. You mentioned 77. Now you get into an Angels bullpen that is certainly labored on this road trip.
No strikeouts in the game. We talk about with Soriano, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to get strikeouts. He did get some ground ball outs. 7 of them.
I mean, he had the 3rd inning where 5 in a row reached. Jeffers' 2-run double, looking like the big hit right now. But it wasn't like Soriano was hit extraordinarily hard. He ends up retiring 7 of the final 8 that he'd face.
Frustrating thing, though, at 1st and 3rd with no outs and you don't get a run across.
You're chasing 2 for your run producers as well, and Soler and Adell. Angels have 5 hits in this game. Trout and Shonowell responsible for 4 of them. The other was Josh Lowe's solo homer. It's the Angels' lone run. Big hack there, strike 3, and Bell goes down swinging. So Seth comes in, gets a punch out immediately. First strikeout of the day for Angels pitching.
96-mile-an-hour 4-seam fastball. It's a good run and life to it.
In this series, Angels just have had a tough time getting that timely hit.
Yeah, you go back over the last couple of days too. I mean, they've had some traffic, a lot of traffic. It's some good swings to the point when you need that big hit.
Now 2 for 17 runners in scoring position the last 2 games. One ball, 1 strike to Cody Clemens. Clemens 0 for 2 today. Ground ball just foul. It's hugging the line and drifted off to the right.
And once it gets by the bag, it's the first base umpire's call.
So Clemens will get reset here as Chase Silseth pitching here in this 6th inning. Angels down by 2 runs. You think too for Silseth, who's been a high leverage guy. I know that it's been a couple days since he's worked.
Got him to go after that sweeper down and in.
Yeah,
another punch out.
Back-to-back strikeouts in the inning. So Silseth has come in. He's gotten Bell and Clemens back-to-back. Couldn't hold up on a pitch in the dirt.
Yeah, as hot as Clemens has been, the Angels have pitched him extremely well so far in the series.
The Halos have cooled him off. There's Royce Lewis now. Lewis in many ways is just a wild card for Minnesota because you see the talent and what he's capable of. He's had to deal with so many injuries. Also has struggled a little bit more than I think the Twins are used to seeing this year. Got sent down at one point, made his way back after 13 days. 2 weeks at AAA, it was like, okay, he hit 8 home runs. You can bring him right back. And he's been solid now working from the right side, with Lee spending more time over at third base.
A lot of talent in this team, and this lineup is so much better when you have Buxton part of it.
Yeah. Gets away. Talking about Brooks Lee, who's waiting on deck. Brooks Lee named for Brooks Robinson, but was very nearly named for Lou Brock. But there was a concern his dad had about the name Brock Lee. A little too close to vegetable. Though I know that you wouldn't.
It's very hot. That's very healthy.
That's nothing you'd have to worry about. 3-1 to Lewis. Big swing and a miss. We'll see if Silseth can strike out the side. He's got the first 2 on punch outs. In the air to left. Coming up for it is Adele. Settling underneath. And there's the final out. Couple strikeouts for Silseth and a clean inning. The Angels, a little break. Halos not back till Friday with the Tigers at home. Then the Cardinals after that because it's the All-Star break coming up. Home Run Derby tomorrow. Mike Trout in the All-Star game coming up on Tuesday. You can watch Angels games all season long on ABTV. Presented by Pechanga Resort Casino.
I wonder if you'll see Scooble that first game for the Tigers. I know Zach Neto would like to know that.
Yeah, Zach Neto's had his success against him. Neto always rises to the moment. Boy, Lowe sent that one a long way, all the way to the warning track. There's the first out. Now a quick word from Hyundai.
Enjoy your new car.
Thanks. Gotta run. Okay, bye.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Oswald Peraza now bats.
It's a pretty good swing there, Josh Lowe, all the way to the warning track in left center where you're not too far away from that 411 sign.
You know, when the Angels acquired Josh Lowe, a lot of time was spent talking about what he did in the 2023 season with Tampa, and it took a really long time for Lowe. First 6 weeks of the season, really struggled, got sent down. But even in the few days, maybe 10 days or so before he got sent down, and ever since, he has returned to looking like the guy that the Rays got in 2023.
Defense has been solid. He's been running the bases well. Good contact, too. Long at bats.
Meanwhile, Peraza strikes out. Denzer Guzman now bats. 2 outs and nobody on.
You know, that bullpen could be an issue for the Twins, but again, later in this game now, they're already 2 outs in the 7th here now.
Big swing there by Denzer Guzman into left field. Back goes Larnach looking forward and up to the seats. Denzer Guzman with a jolt to the Angel offense. Another homer, and the Angels cut the deficit to 1.
That's what you want to see from the youngster. A lot of power there. Had some lift to that. It's 37-degree launch angle. We talk about how that baseball will carry with the wind blowing out to left. That just kept carrying and carrying. Carried on my wayward son.
Catcher.
Just like that. It's a one-run deficit now.
Larnach was looking up, looking like he had a play.
It's a hanging slider.
Both home runs the Angels have hit in this game off speed on the first pitch.
Splitter and now slider.
1-0 to O'Hoppe.
That's how strong he is. He's kept drifting, kept carrying. Over the plants out there in left center.
4th of the season now for Denzer Guzman. Had those 3 in a row in Sacramento, and now here he goes. Gets another. Sun Angels right back in business. That's a 4-pitch walk to Logan O'Hoppe.
Here's the guy you love up here in this spot now.
Zach Neto comes up. It's been fascinating today. In the 3rd, Lowe hits the homer. Peraza walks the follow. Trout and Shawnuwall had back-to-back hits in the 3rd inning. And then in the 6th inning, Trout and Shawnuwall had back-to-back hits. Here in the 7th, a homer followed by a walk. Everything has been in pairs today for the Angels. And now Neto trying to make it a streak.
Now the 4th time through. He hasn't got an out on the 4th time through. There's a lot of times he's gotten a chance to do so. Got some action now. This starting down in the bullpen for the Twins.
Taylor Rogers starting to get loose in the Minnesota bullpen.
And it was like, I don't know if that's a strike.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely.
1-1.
But again, that was a slider upstairs. You want that slider upstairs.
Neto hitless so far with a strikeout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're fouling off the splitter.
Off his front of his foot, too.
Yep.
This is where those adjustments and where that elbow is set up for Neto. See if that comes into play here. Now with 2 strikes.
Angels trying to make some 2-out magic. They already got the home run for Denzer Guzman. O'Hoppe's walk now has Neto up. Strike 3, 2nd time tonight. Neto's gone down on strikes. Denzer Guzman, though, hits the homer. Angels within 1. Defense earlier in this series. That time the offense for the 22-year-old. We've been spending so much time talking future today. There's a look at it right there.
Yeah, his hands are a tremendous, Trent. I mean, really good hands, both in the field and at the plate.
So Chase Silseth back out for his 2nd inning of work. It's a 3-2 game. First pitch to Brooksley is outside. Now Jose Soriano today did not have a strikeout. This is incredible, Gooby. Angel starters have had just 1 strikeout in the series. And it's the first time the Angels have had a stretch of 3 or more games with 1 strikeout from starting pitchers since 1986. The Angels pitchers in that series are Barno Lugo, Ray Chadwick, and Don Sutton.
Wow, that long ago.
You know, if this is coming to memory, you were there because it was against the Kansas City Royals. And the first game of that series was won by Mark Gubicza. 6 2/3, 4 punch-outs, and a dub.
I know I didn't get many punch-outs, that's for sure.
You got the win. Here comes the 2-1 on Brooks Lee. That's just amazing. I mean, and Angel starters have kept the Angels in these games. I don't know that it's been the dominant stuff, but it's been enough to win. Angels couldn't come back last night, and they're trying to right now. I should say yesterday afternoon as Lee cuts at that 3-2.
See how Silseth bounces back that second inning. We said that a number of different times for relievers for the Halos, that second inning. Saw it yesterday for Mitch Ferris, although he's more of a guy that's going to give you length out of the bullpen. Got to keep it close here. Got Trout leading off, top of the 8th.
That's going to be a leadoff walk, and Silseth's frustrated. Join your Angels for Family Sunday and Kids Run the Bases on Sunday home games through August the 30th. Visit the Gate 4 Courtyard for fun activities and stay after for Kids Run the Bases. For a full list of Family Sundays presented by Yakult Probiotic Drink, you can visit angels.com/promotions. Now Ryan Zefferjan up in the Angel pen. Alan Roden, strike one.
Did a pretty good shot. His first at bat was run down by Josh Lowe in left center field.
Oh, one is low. I guess if you're Kurt Suzuki in this Angels bullpen, you figure, well, you got the All-Star break coming up. No worried about tomorrow. One. This is popped up. I think it's going to go out of play. Sam Bachman didn't pitch yesterday after pitching in 3 of the previous 4. Mitch Ferris threw 39 pitches yesterday for mean 17. Ferris is probably the only guy not available. Probably Ferris and then Kirby Yates, who if he were to enter, it would be 3 of 4 for him.
Silseth has a quick move. Good footwork.
Angels already have 1 pickoff today, courtesy of Jose Soriano, first of his career. Was all the way back in the second.
Nasty split.
Big time strikeout. That's the 3rd of this game for Chase Silseth. Chase Silseth trying to make sure that leadoff walk doesn't burn him. And keep this to 1.
Pretty good speed at the plate and at first base here for the Twins.
Angels trying to finish the first half with a victory. Try to get a series win here on the road in Minnesota. Down a run right now. High and tight, ball 2.
It's quite a bit on 2 pitches in a row. It's good time for Ohapi to go out for a quick conversation.
Now Mike Maddox will join the chat. Chase Silseth, such an emotional guy out there on the mound. High energy. Saw the frustration after the leadoff walk to Lee.
You said only down by 1. You got Trout leading off the 8th.
And Trout and Shonowell have been excellent today. So you feel like there's a chance with those two. You feel like every time Mike Trout steps up, there's a chance.
Former MVP of an All-Star game in this yard.
And that one won by the American League. Final inning caught by Kurt Suzuki when he was with the Twins. 2-0.
That's a good 2-0 hack. That's what you're supposed to be doing when you swing at 2-0. But you'll take that if you're Silseth. You're trying to get back in the count.
See if that Maddox mojo can limit this Twins lineup. Another one. Now it's 2-2. For a team that over the last month plus has been the best offensive team in the American League, the Angels have had just one trouble inning against them, but it was 3. And so far it's been enough. Another pickoff toss back safely is Lee. On the move, Lee goes, pitch is low, and the throw is late.
A huge jump.
So now a runner in scoring position.
Couldn't quite get the grip on the release on it, but still, even that huge jump. That's a good play by Peraza to keep that from going into center field.
I mean, Lee was practically halfway to second by the time it got to O'Hoppy's glove. So now runner at second.
Another big hack.
Getting set for the final games here to close out the first half slate across MLB before the All-Star game. It's Keyshaw calls time. A lot of people were excited today about what was going to happen in Pittsburgh between the Pirates and the Brewers, because it was supposed to be Paul Skeens against Jacob Mizorowski, but the Miz with a pregame scratch today. Pirates would win it 14-5. Paul Skeens picking up his 8th win of the season.
We'll take that run support, take his chances.
Yeah. Well, it helps when you get a 10-run 4th inning. And there's a big strikeout. Chase Silseth gets the swing and miss from Keyshaw, his 4th.
So back-to-back strikeouts, one on a splitter, and that one on a sweeper. Little bite to it. He's got great spin rate on his sweeper.
So that's going to do it for Chase Silseth, live or on demand, subject to national exclusivities. Visit Angels.tv for details and take advantage of this limited time offer. Ryan Zeferjan enters, and boy, Gooby, Zeferjan has been excellent of late.
And a lot of more trust and use of his fastball. That's been the big thing for him so far as going forward these last 14 games.
And on one pitch, gets a pop-up behind the plate. O'Hoppy is going to run out of room. So into the seats for a foul ball. Zeferjan entering a situation with a runner in scoring position, but 2 out. It's Ryan Kreidler who's made some outstanding defensive plays today.
He's showing some good range. You got to play a number of different positions too.
0-1.
Pretty good fastball there. Just a little off the inside corner, maybe, just barely.
97, missed by thin side of a slice of paper. 2-1.
That was a strike. That was a big one too, because that changes an at bat from 2-1 to 1-2.
And now it's a 3-1 count, and that ends up being a huge pitch. Angels 1 ABS challenge remaining. (3-1). Lifted in right field. Shonowell in foul territory going after it, trying to make the catch, and does.
Look at Willie Mays.
Nolan Shonowell brings it in. Angels down a run with Mike Trout leading off the inning. When we come back late here in Minneapolis. Batting here to lead off the 8th for the Angels, down a run. It's a first pitch strike.
Shonowell's almost in the batter's box himself, right behind Mike Trout at home plate.
Shonowell's had a very good series. Drove in a run with a single on Friday night. You mentioned the catch. 2 hits yesterday, 2 more today.
That ball, that first pitch was way out of the strike zone.
For the Angels, 6 hits have been with 2 strikes today. Mike Trout behind 0-2 now.
Hard cutter, 93.
So 2 singles for Shonowell. 2 singles for Trout. Here's the 1-2. Trout takes it. It's 2-2. 99 from Morris, the new pitcher into the game.
Pretty close to a strike. That could have been a strike. So the first pitch was definitely a ball, and that was close enough to be a strike.
Last Diaz, the crew chief. Trout sends a rocket foul.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he didn't even move. Now he is.
He's reacting now. He didn't even see it.
Oh, wow.
It's like, I guess that was coming in hot. From 0-2 to 3-2. Just another Mike Trout at bat.
It's a good chance he should get a fastball here. It's either a fastball or a cutter that in that fastball family.
Trout, it's a ground ball. It's over to Lee at third. Makes the flip to Lewis for the first out. And now a quick word from Kia. We were just talking about Nolan Shonowell's heroics so far here in Minnesota. He bats with 1 out, nobody on in the 8th. The Angels needing a run.
See if he can cheat on a pitch on the inside corner and drive it. Little change piece, first one. Always believe whenever he works ahead of the count, that's when he's going to do the most damage as far as exit velocity.
1-0. That's a strike.
He wants, despite his body language, he wants that changeup back. At least that part of the zone.
Shonowell swings and misses for strike 2, and that was a much better changeup. It's been all changeups so far to Shonowell. From Morris.
This is where that little serve out the left field for a base hit could be big. Choking up on the bat, see if he can make contact.
1-2, he does make contact, but he hits it to Kreidler at short. That's the second out. Now Jorge Soler bats. Angels have 2 runs on a pair of 2-out solo homers.
So you're trying to say having another one with 2 outs.
And Jorge Soler is going to review the last Diaz ruling.
And a 70 strike call.
Angels have just 1 challenge left.
This is borderline right here.
CBS review powered by T-Mobile. Let's see it. And that's a strike. Soler can't believe it. It's the 0-1. Well, Gibby, you were 2 for 2 in your predictions so far today. So I'm hoping to just try to get on the board here.
Yes. Got to have something on the inner half of the plate, though. He throws one of those change-ups to stay in, or maybe even a cutter. Outer part of the plate, it's been a difficult task of late for Soler, and that was a firm fastball in the outside corner.
Triple digits right by Soler. Here's the 1-2. Just off. Angels trying to make something happen. Down a run here in the 8th. And there's strike 3. Jorge Soler chases a pitch well out of the zone in the dirt. And the Angels go down 1-2-3. Trevor Hansen in the 9th round.
Yes.
A couple hours ago, defensive change. Jose Siri is in the game. So Soler is out. That moves Lowe to left and Adele to right. Ryan Zephyr-Jean is back to face the top of the Twins lineup. Trevor Larnach leading things off, and the first pitch is away. A lot of Orange County representation for the Angels in this draft. Tim McIlvain, scouting director, calling the shots. 2-0.
Going with the best player available in those slots.
Yep.
That's how you start building your farm system, too. The ranks of the Angels farm system has gotten better this year. There's been improvements there.
Certainly a better trajectory. You like to see progress. 3-1 on Larnach. Angels, meanwhile, are trying to win this game. They're down a run here in the 8th. Zephyr-Jean trying to keep it there, and they're really good pitch. And Larnach tied up. Larnach drove it a run back in the 3rd. Hits a ball hard to right field, drives in another one here in the 8th. A solo home run. It's a 4-2 Minnesota lead.
Zephyr-Jean had been throwing a lot of fastballs of late here, a number of sweepers, and this time a sweeper almost similar to the zone where he tied him up early in the at-bat. Drives that out.
7th of the year for the leadoff man, Larnach.
7 pitches, 6 sweepers in that at-bat. First run he's given up in a long, long time.
"14 scoreless innings, or appearances rather, for Zephyr-Jean before today.
And then another sweeper. And we've talked about how that fastball, four-seamer, and sinker has been used lately a lot higher percentage. Been reason why he's been dominant.
There's the fastball. He's now thrown 2 fastballs. They've both missed. At least here in this inning. Two and 0 now to Jeffers. It was his 2-run double in that 3rd inning that right now is the difference in the game. Three and 1.
Another sweeper. I'll tell you one team that's not looking forward to the All-Star break. That's the Boston Red Sox. They came back, scored 2 in the 9th, 1 in the 10th to win their 9th game in a row.
I mean, they have just been insanely hot. They had that 9-game road trip to close out their first half. Started with the Angels, then they faced the White Sox and the Mets to close it out. Won all 9. That's one way to get back on track. And on a 3-2 called third strike, and Jeffers goes down looking.
Yeah, fastball thrown there, punches him. .96-mile-an-hour fastball.
It's that run coming at you. Went out for Josh Bell.
Like that fastball again.
Going back to back with it.
That sweeper is about 65%.
And he's throwing a lot of them. Now trying to get back with fastballs, which is what he's given to Bell. It's 1-1. Talking about the Red Sox, that 9-game win streak. Now all of a sudden they have themselves right in the thick of this wild card race.
Yeah, they're just 2 games under 500 now.
46 and 48 on the year.
And the Tigers, who have been playing well, they end up losing today to the Phillies.
That's a cold strike. 3-2 on Bell. Seattle has lost 5 straight. Though looks like they're going to end that in Tampa Bay. They have an 8-2 lead going to the bottom of the 9th inning against the Rays. Ground ball hit over to second. Stop by Peraza. Nice play over to Shanoel. It's out number 2.
Made a lot of real good defense plays at second base.
Brent Suter starts to get loose for the Angels. I mean, Peraza covers so much ground at second.
Those hands. He always puts himself, even when he has to dive and slide like that, to put himself in a good throwing position, a good angle to throw to the first baseman.
One past Cody Clemens. 0-1 from Zephyr-Jean. They're giving up the leadoff homer. Made it 4-2. It's going to be reviewed.
Batter challenges the strike call.
That looks like it's a pretty good pitch.
That's a strike. So now Minnesota with just 1 challenge remaining. Angels are out of them. Trying to do a little checkup on Laz Diaz, the crew chief. On a hot day here in Minnesota. He'll be retiring at the end of the season, one of 7 big league umpires retiring after this year. Let's look at Laz. And there's strike 3.
Using his fastball.
The fastball works for a couple of strikeouts, but the home run has extended the Minnesota lead. It's 4-2.
Joe Adell at the plate.
It's Adell Lowe Peraza due up here in the 9th inning for the Angels, needing 2. Adell hitless so far this afternoon. It's a first pitch strike on him from Morris.
Still throwing hard. Last inning at 99, a second inning. That's 98.
Adell trying to get his first hit of this series. 0-1. It's low.
Couple of day games here. He's had a tough time for whatever reason. It's one of those ones you just can't quite figure out how. It's a 204 hitter in day games.
Austin Martin now in left field for Minnesota. Defensive switch, placing Larnach as Adell swings and misses there and falls behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's Martin. Guzman homer cut it to 1, but it was Larnach's home run that extended the lead back to 2 for the Twins. 1-2 on Adell. There's strike 3. The Angels offense got going today with Josh Lowe back in the 2nd inning. First run of the game.
That was on a splitter against Bradley.
On a day that Taj Bradley pitched really well for the Twins. 7 innings, 2 runs. So that's 3 straight starts for Taj Bradley going to the All-Star break where he's been outstanding. 1-0 to Lowe. Has the count in his favor. 2 balls, no strikes. Lowe's also played some nice defense today. Cuts through that 2-0 pitch. Misses the sinker. 2-1. Lowe goes the other way, but it goes foul.
And a real good shot. His last at bat was caught on the warning track in left center field too.
Now he's got 2 strikes on him. Lowe sends one to left field. Shallow for Martin. Just came into the game trying to track it down in the sun and does. 2 gone.
Yeah, he did something you see a lot from outfielders on a high pop, and just turn the body to give you a better view of the baseball coming back in. Even when you have sunglasses on, if you can turn your body, you can see the baseball a little bit better in your glove.
Wade Meckler's going to pinch hit for Oswald Peraza, representing the Angels' last chance. We invite you to stick around for Kia postgame. Angels postgame presented by Kia coming up after this. Mark Gubiza and Erica Weston will handle that. As Morris determines the plan of attack on Wade Meckler, who's been a hot bat for the Angels. Pinch hit opportunity now. First pitch foul. Wade Meckler has been a pesky at bat.
307 batting average. OPS center is 790. A lot of base hits going left field. Can turn on a fastball in.
Meckler had a double yesterday. He's been stringing together the singles. As you can see, he's got that batting average up to 307. Angels need a hit right now. 1-1.
Just take a base runner in general. Kick Guzman to plate, who homered his last at bat.
And just trying to find a way to flip it over. Get it to O'Hoppe in the top of the order. A lot of work to do. Here's the 2-1. And now it's 2-2. The Angels are down to their final strike.
And a pretty good changeup too.
Foul tip, unable to hang on. And a shot to Diaz. Meckler stays alive. Morris trying to close this game out for Minnesota. Tossed 2 scoreless last night. In for his second inning of work here today.
Battling here, trying to put that ball serve at the left center. Got a lot of room to left center. Martin playing pretty shallow in left to take away that little flare that way. Ton of room in left center though for him.
Megler battling in this at bat. Goes the other way, foul.
Wow, nice play. On the backhand.
This next pitch will be the 8th of the at bat. Yes, well done down the line. Pick that. And a gift. 2-2. Megler takes high.
All you do is want to have an opportunity here in the 9th inning and getting on base any way possible.
Here's the payoff. And it ends up being a walk. Wade Megler comes in, draws a walk on a long at bat. And that brings up Denzer Guzman. And the last time Denzer Guzman dug in, he had a big swing.
Lifted that one up. That was a slider. It will lift it. Pick up his 4th home run.
Good to see that for Denzer Guzman. If he can do it again, it would tie the game. Paredes has been warming in the Minnesota pen. We'll see if the Twins swing that gate open. Meanwhile, a 10-pitch walk for Wade Megler. What a job by Megler coming off the bench and just finding a way to get on.
And that's all you want to do is get on base to give your team a chance to tie this one up. Very patient, didn't help him out.
So it's the 22-year-old Denzer Guzman. Just saw the home run he hit his last time up back in the 7th. That made it a 1-run game. Now he bats, representing the possible tying run here. He goes after the first pitch, sends it into center field, drops it in there. Megler will hold it second. And now the Angels have 2 on with 2 out.
What a swing that was. That ball was scorched. 102 off the bat.
And now Logan O'Hoppe.
Be a nice time for a Logan O'Hammered.
Angels trying to continue this 2-out rally. They've done a good job at that here this afternoon. 5 of their 7 hits have been with 2 outs. And if O'Hoppe can get on, it's Neto waiting on deck. He hits a ball high. It's the left field, but playable for Morton, and that's the final out. O'Hoppe hit it in the air, but the Angels leave a pair on, and the Twins win this ball game 4-2.
Yeah, not a lot of extra velocity. He had the height for that one to go a long way, but just missed on that one.
Trevor Larnach, our Toyota player of the game, had the big home run that came in the 8th inning, creating the separation. Also drove in a run back in the 3rd, and the Twins end up taking the series, winning the finale 4-2. We'll be back for a wrap on the other side here from Minneapolis.